Hi, I'm Bob Baxter with the Wellness Factor. And this particular topic is about quantum stretch. So, I've been through a lot of stuff in my life. I'm very physical. So many car accidents, totaled cars, falling off my horses and falling off my surfboards, and I'm still doing it. I'm in my mid 70s and I keep my body. I fix my shoulder, I fix my back, I can stretch it out and get back to shape because I understand connective tissue, muscles, ligaments, and tendons, and how they all are connected and move together. When we get a damaged area, it's normally the tissues are flowing like this and moving like this and stretching. But when we get a damaged area, like where we fall on it, it locks the connective tissue and it makes a tight spot, and that's what hurts. And the idea is to stretch that out slowly. And everybody stretches, but let's do it where it's most effective. And what I do is, and you can read about the other technique of where this started with the Rossiter technique, which is where the client lays on the floor and then I would use my foot and apply weight to the quadricep, for example, while I coach them through foot movements to the side and up and down. And that little bit of movement gets everything stretched while I've got it pinned. But I couldn't step on myself. So I developed this over several years of quantum stretch. And it's one of the techniques in the Rossiter system, is I call it right angle hands. And this is mostly for upper body. And I can show you more about lower body as we work with that a little more. So, and you'll see the pictures on the PDF of the different techniques and stretches that you can do, but come to the class and I'll show you a lot more. And it's so simple. You can do this. I'd stretch in Home Depot. I'm in the grocery store and I'm stretching. I'm on the shopping cart. At the morning when I get up, I'm leaning on the counter and I'm flat back, stretched out, and I'm working slowly with my hips and all of that that's going up and down the legs and into the hips. A lot going on there. You know, I don't think we need a lot of these hip surgeries that people are getting these days. I think it's all about stretching out tissues that are in different areas. So look at it this way. So let's say you have the mast of your ship, let's call it your spine, and the mast of your ship has got rigging coming down both sides. If I've got knots and tight spots on this side of the rigging, it's going to be pulling the mast this way and making this very tight. So this tightness is more than likely where you're going to feel more pain. That's where you're going to experience something else in the body hurting. All of a sudden your back hurts. Where'd that come from? Tight quadriceps. Most backaches are coming from an over-tight right quadricep. And I'll show you how to stretch that out. So with a right angle hand stretch, what we're really doing is that we're holding our arm down to our sides. So you start here. You put your hand in a right angle, as tight as you can, with the palm stretched out wide and engaged. All right? So then bring your arm up. You can do this sitting in your chair. If you bring your arm, it's just very slow. Now you'll feel tightness and a little bit of pain in the body, in the arm, in the forearm. I can bring it up a little higher and I'll feel more spots, something new. I can turn my hand around and find it more stuff. I can bring it back behind me, engaging the pectoral major, and pulling on that. I can move my head over and down and get this whole line stretching and moving. The key is it takes 5 seconds for the tissue to start to move. So what you're doing is pulling on that tissue. It might hurt a little bit. That's okay. We're all trained to shy away from pain. Don't go there. But that's the way to go through it and get out of it, is stretching that tissue. You're going to feel it, and then in a minute, you won't feel it. You've stretched it. When we've got pain in a tight area, in a constricted area, it could be damage or something like that, then what happens is that it won't let blood and oxygen flow, not getting nutrients into that area. So putting a bandage on it or a wrap is not the best idea unless you need to be immobile. Then you've got to go to the PT, and this is exactly what the PT is going to be telling you, only not this quite the same technique. So I did a lot of training. I taught a lot of PTs, massage therapists with the Rossiter system. And it was a great system, so check it out. If you got a real problem, go to a Rossiter therapist somewhere around your area. They're all over the world, and get involved with that. You'll really get it with that one. So anyway, so as I'm stretching this and I'm moving the tissue and stretching, it's kind of like with yoga. You know, you get into a posture and then you move into it slowly. You come up to your edge, they call it, and you hold that and you stretch that. And then you go a little further. So if you've done yoga for like 3 days, just in 3 days, you're going to get a whole lot of benefit out of that. You won't believe. Just doing a simple little stretch 3 days in a row, simple yoga stretches, but slowly in your way, not the way that yoga teacher's telling you. She's giving you postures and they also will tell you, do your thing. Don't push yourself past an edge. Come up to the edge, hold it, breathe. So breath is another big thing I'll be talking about in all these classes too. Breathing. We don't breathe well enough these days. And that is also working muscles. We're working all the time and we're bending over and we're reaching and we're doing this and our head's looking at the phone here like this. What is that doing to our posture and our tissue? It's all like this. And we're lifting, so we're tight. So we get up in the morning and we go, and we're literally stretching and ripping that tissue open. I don't mean to use the word ripping, but you get the idea. So you go for it. Even if you're 90 years old, a little simple stretch, a little movement is just the right thing. Dance is wonderful. And yoga with right angle hands is remarkable. As I move my body up and around, you'll feel these tissues moving as I move from side to side, and you'll feel it going back and forth in your arms. Anyway, take a look, come to the class, let me know if you want to sign up for this class, and I'll get them up posted. Love to have you have your body feeling really good, and tap and stretch and take care of yourself and drink lots of water. Have a great day. Adios.